So in the last video, we are discussing about the bottleneck model. So this model, I'll just give the theme or the overview of this particular model in manufacturing or the operations. So here, what we'll do exactly is we will estimate the production flow rate and the capacity and the utilization of the particular machines or the manufacturing processes which are going through, and even it will overestimate the system performance in the sense it will go through each and every manufacturing machine or the process routing and each and everything, and it will access or analyzes the particular time period required for designing or making a part which is going through a number of processes as well as the machines, and which includes the all the procedural requirements which involved in that. And in what is bottleneck model is nothing but we have when we are having mixed part designs and mixed products to be manufactured. So in that particular case, we need to access or analyze how effectively or how optimistically can use that particular machines, and for that we are just estimating how this performance will go for each and every mission or the operations required. So for that we have a different like a number of terminologies where we are going to calculate the utilization or the maximum production rate. All these will come when we are trying to find these bottleneck operations where sometimes or in some cases it should not be more imbalanced, like in the sense if a mission is having more on one particular process and the other machine is an idle, so we have to like there is a mismanage over there. So for that we are just calculating and analyzing the particular production rate and the capacity and the effective usage of the particular machine, and we'll try to adjust it. So for that we have some particular formula to calculate that. We will see what all those in this particular PPT. So we have the terminologies and symbols for this each term. The part mix, as the name implies, it is the various parts or the production styles produced at each system or by the system, and normally it is called as PJ. PJ is nothing but the fraction of the total system output of that particular style J. Style J is nothing but the design of that particular part. The style of that particular or the design of that particular part is normally called as or labeled here as J. And it is the ground rule that all the values, the sum of all the PJ values will be equal to 1, which is unity. And here the other one, all these are important terminology, so you have to know, because until unless we know this terminology, it is very difficult for us to calculate the maximum production rate or the optimized effective usage of any machines individually. So we have as the name indicates, the workstations or servers. Servers are nothing but it's a duplication of work centers or workstations. Workstations are nothing but, as you know, the machines or like CNC machine, CNC drilling machine, CNC milling machine, or else many various types of machining process we have. So those are called workstations, and the number of workstations at particular respective workstation I is denoted as SI, and the servers are nothing but the duplication or the same which are replicated. Normally we call it as a servers of that particular workstations. And process routing, here the time taken for each product to in a given server, which is nothing but a mission, because workstations or servers may be one or multiple. So because if we need more production, we may replicate the particular workstation into servers, like one or two three servers, as you already saw in the previous PPTs. Like in flexible manufacturing system, you have multiple machines in one particular station along a particular cycle of operations. In that way, here for process routing, the processing time for of a part or a product in a given server or a given workstation, it is not including the waiting time. The waiting time anyway, it is not included here. Only the time which is required for preparing that particular product or involved actively contributed for machining that particular part, we call as the processing time, which is normally denoted by TIJK. And here for each symbol or for each letter there is a significance, and I is the station or the workstation at which you are doing it. As I said earlier, the workstation might be the milling machine or a drilling machine or as a tapping machine or as a planer or a shaper, whatever the requirement depends on the requirement, it may change. And J is a part or a product. So the style, as I said before, PJ we already discussed. The J indicates the particular design of the part or the product, and K is the particular operation. So the operation, as we discussed earlier, the operation will be like simple gear cutting, or else like cutting the outer part, or else drilling, or else milling. Some depends on the particular requirement of the operation. We call K is the K signified for that particular operation in process routing sequence for that particular procedure. So we have the work handling system, as you know, the material like the process which involved for designing any product that will be combined or restricted to that particular machines, whereas the material handling system are the one where it is used for handling or transferring or transporting that particular material from workstation, from one workstation to the other, or from one cycle to the other, from one particular place to the other place, and where the designated it as, like we normally labeled it as n plus 1, where n you already seen, that is that Sn plus 1, normally this work handling system, the number of work handling system will be denoted as Sn plus 1, where it includes the number of servers in handling system. So number of carriers in the, as you can see here, there are a number of carriers like conveyors, belt conveyors, chain conveyors, or carts, or as like automated ground vehicles. So there are a number of material handling system, as you saw earlier in that particular FMS, while processing that particular movement of materials from one station to the other. So it is an additional time, or it is additional work which is being added after the design or the active contribution to the design of the part is done. And next we have transport time. So mean transport time is the one where the transportation from of the particular part from one particular mission to the other particular mission, normally we call as a mean transport time or transport time, which is denoted as Tn plus 1. So these two, just remember, Sn plus 1 and Tn plus 1 are the work handling system related parameters, and normally it will be used in the last cycle. As you can see in the example, I will just highlight that. So which is normally different from the conventional procedure of doing any manufacturing process which we discussed here. In addition to this, we have operation frequency, where the operation frequency of K operation in process plan, as you like we already discussed, K is related to that particular operation and J is for that plan or design, and at workstation, at particular workstation I. So normally this operation frequency will be given in the example, so that like we have to restrict ourselves to this particular frequency and analyze that particular whatever the system or the cycle of operations given to you. So here you have the operation parameters, flexible manufacturing system. One is the average workload, which is very important in calculating that particular optimized or busy workload. So these normally termed as WLIJK for the different workstations I and the different designs K. We have FIJK, we already given the operational frequency. TAJK also already mentioned the time process, and PJ, as we discussed in the earlier, that normally that is called as part mix. So all these will be given in the example. You have to simply substitute in this formula and get that workload, average workload of that particular station. And we will see one example also. And this is workload from the workload for handling material handling system, and the workload for the normal part will be different. So you have to be careful while calculating this. As I said before, the final unloading part will be for the work code of handling system. So that will be normally termed as Wn plus 1, which is NT. NT is the mean average time, and Tn plus 1, as you discussed, like that time period for our mean transportation of the material. This will be discussed in the example, but just make sure that you got these terms. And NT is the mean number of operation in the process, which is normally described, or this is one taken from this particular average workload, we'll get the average number of transports, which is NT. And here for bottleneck station, the maximum value of ratio of this particular WLI by SI is the number of workstations or servers. So that ratio will give us the maximum value or the bottleneck station, where exactly this bottleneck or the uh, minimum enough operation can be done, that can be identified using this particular operational parameters. Given an example, as you can see here, the loading and unloading is done through a workstation, one workstation over here, and J is nothing but one part, and PJ, which is one, as we have only one workstation over here, and FIJK is already one because only one operational frequency is here. And there are three routing operations which we can see: load from part at 1. So here the loading is done, and again it is going route 2 is station 2 for machining. Here the machining is going to be done, and after machining it is returning to the particular station 1 for unloading. So this is one process where we can see the loading value is 1 because only one loading station is there, and as you can see here the mission at 2, that is one particular station, our workstation is over here. In the same way, the value of unloading also it is 1, and here we are calculating nt is nothing but, as you can see, the average number of transport. So for that we are just taking -1 from that, and here we can know the average number of transport is 2. So this is a simple calculation for determining the nt, the average number of transports. And in the like next to it, we need to the more important parameters we need to see. The more important system performance parameters we need to measure is like the maximum production rate, which is determined by the ratio of the number of workstations to the workload, the average workload, and which is labeled as RP, the maximum production rate, RP star. So it is dependent on the capacity of the bottleneck situation, because the station or the particular shop floor or the industry will have its own limitation. So for that we need to calculate the maximum production rate so that we should not exceed up, upon this particular limit. So for all these, why we need to calculate all this is because of that. So we will have some bottleneck operations, so we need to identify that before going to operations or real-time machining processes, and after that we should not exceed this particular value. So that is the main significance of this. And here the utilization of each workstation also will be determined using this particular terminologies, which is nothing but the proportion of time that the servers are nothing but the duplicates or the spare of the workstations what we have for manufacturing, and the stations are not idle. We are make suring that, so we are make ensuring that like the workstations which are in the machining process should not be idle in the workstation. So for that we are calculating the utilization at each workstation. Normally it is calculated by this, and simple formulas, like I am not going to explain much about it, because as you can sense, the previously we are calculating the performance and next we are calculating the utilization. After that, the overall the system of flexible manufacturing utilization you will calculate from by considering all the workstations in the particular station, and the formula for doing that is this, which is represented by U bar. So finally, the number of busy servers or the busy workstations can be calculated using this particular formula. As all these formulas which are noted over here are very important, because in the exam you will be asked to calculate these particular terms by giving the example problem. And here we can see one example problem over here. So here we have like three stations: station 1, station 2, and station 3. One for station 1 is for loading and unloading, station 2 perform milling operations, and consists of two servers which are nothing but two identical CNC milling machines which are for doing milling mission. And we have one particular milling operation machine and two servers for it. So two servers are nothing but the duplicate of that particular workstation. And we have the work part handling system, which has four carriers, and the mean transport time this is very very important. I will tell when it is coming. The mean transport time and Tn plus 1 is 3 minutes already given, and the flexible manufacturing produces two parts. Here we are talking about two parts which is A and B, and these parts are given as the presented in the table. Like table is there, we need to get the information from the table in the next slide. And already this operation frequency is like fixed, that is 1 for all operations. Now we have to calculate the maximum production rate, corresponding production rates at each product, utilization of each station, and the number of busy servers at each station. These particular formulas we already derived before, just we have to calculate by getting the values on the data from the table as given over here. So as you can see, this is the part A and B, and J is the design or style. So that is why J is kept over here, and PJ, a value already given in the table, 0.4 and 0.6 for A and B respectively. And there are three stations. So for the three stations there are four operations. One is loading, other is second station is milling, third station is drilling, and fourth is unloading. So there are four operations and three stations. So here station 1, 2, 3 and again 1. So there are already the process time is given TIJK in minutes. You can cross relate to the previous terminologies. So all the required terms for calculating the like whatever asked in the question are given in this particular table. Just we have to simply identify the data and substitute in the particular terms to get the values or the final result. So there are two parts as you can see here. Now we are calculating the maximum production rate, which is the average workload. The formula is this, and you know why I have written 4 plus 2. Why 4 plus 2 is because the minimum processing time for loading and unloading I am considering over here itself. I am just adding this and this for both part A and B. I am calculating over here as you can see. So here 4 plus 2, 0.4 is nothing but PI. PI is nothing but 0.4 for part A and sorry PJ, 0.4 for part A and 0.6 for part B. So that way this is 0.4 and 0.6, and 1 is nothing but Fijk value, which is already given in the question. So here the value already given. So in that way we are calculating the individual workload at each station. So in this way we got this is 6 minutes and the other is 30. Just we cross check this particular thing, how we came 30, because 30 is the minimum process time and 0.4 is PJ value, and Fijk we already know that is 1. So using that for the both we calculated this. So the three workstations are very clear, and next we have NT, which is nothing but the work handling. So there are, as you know, the routing is 1, 2, 3 from one station 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and again unloading coming back to station 1. So we already know the mean time for transportation is already given 3. So nt is equal to 3. I'll just show that. So here I said the mean transport time is 3. So this value I'm just using over here, nothing but. So nt is equal to 3 and the routing is nothing but 3 routes, like 3 gaps we have, 1, 2, 3. So using that I'm just writing, as you know, the wn plus 1. I'll just show that, don't get confused with this. So just we are calculating this, which is the workload average workload formula, and the average workload for a handling system is different. Now we are calculating this particular handling system, which is having 4 carriers. In the example it is mentioned the work handling system is also having 4 carriers. So for that Tn plus 1 is already given. So we are calculating Nt and substituting simply in that. Yeah. So in that way we got this particular Wn4. So the bottleneck situation can be known by calculating the ratio. So SI is nothing but the number of workstations. As you know, at station 1 how many workstations we have? As you can see here, station 1 1 and station 2 2 and station 3 3, but station 4 again 1. So in the same way we will calculate over here. From this particular value we are calculating this, and the station 4 we are having 4, If you get confused, just refer this particular table where, as you can see here, 1 2 3 1. So here also the number of station, yes, I think you got confused over here. We need to see SI is nothing but the number of stations in that particular. In the problem, as you can see, the station 1 has two, the stations 2 performs two servers, along with it the station has only one server, so only one. So you can refer over here where the station 1 having only one loading and unloading, the station 2 having two servers, and the station 3 is having only one. So in that way we calculate, and the station 4 will having four part handling system, which is this 1 2 3 1. So in this way we'll calculate, and the maximum ratio occurs at station 2 because it is the maximum value what we got. Now we can tell that the bottleneck situation is having over there because the number of going products or the parts are situated at that particular part. So as you know, simple from the basic formula for calculating the maximum production rate, we have this. Just from now, simply substitution over there. So I'm just doing that. You can go through it, and like to determine the production rate, just simply substitute RPA, which is zero point 0.4, which is PJ, and 3.3 is nothing but the one which we got the RP. Just ensure that you are referring to the particular formula which is given over there. So I'm simply substituting the values, nothing much complex in this, so I'm just skipping. So you go through this. In the same way we'll calculate the BC server registration, and this we got these values, simply substitute for each individual station. So here, and this is a like example fun where you can solve yourself. This is an like work for you. And next to this,